2 weeks into my term as the mayor of the city of New Orleans, I was picked up by a high water vehicle because flooding in the city due to rainwater. Federal infrastructure program, we had less than 1% of the money spent at that particular time with the budget allocation in terms of, for this city, over $2 billion. We found radiation uptown on Earhart Boulevard. We saw a cyber attack that came our way. Thank God when we got in here, we saw very quickly what Atlanta was dealing with, and my sister mayor at the time, then the administration moved very quickly, urging the city council to allow us to move forward with purchasing cyber attack insurance. We saw, of course, a hotel collapsed in our downtown, killing 3 of our people. Never forget that. Yes, with this fiscal crisis, we had to cut our budget $100 million due to COVID-19. Immediately, we had to do more with less. And that did mean cutting 20% from every single city department across the board to ensure, again, that we kept city government working for you. Collectively, we set the tone about how we govern, how we lead, how we serve, with all residents being a top priority for us.
My name is Michael Burnside. I chose to come to the budget meeting today because this is one place you can meet administration officials and talk to them face to face.
I'm interested to know how much investigation and research goes into the funding of the charter school system. Also, are there plans to invest more into the school system? Many schools complain of being underfunded and lack of resources.
$400,000 last year was put into truancy, and it was not effective. And she did not receive the outcome, which was no surprise to me, because I feel that a large issue we have in New Orleans is that a lot of funding is put into outcomes and symptoms versus early intervention and early resources for these children.
So it is our goal in preparing for the upcoming school year to focus on truancy in partnership with, and of course, working with all stakeholders relative to providing a quality and a holistic and comprehensive education.
Spending money, that much money on truancy is feeding into that same system of criminalizing youth, instead of giving them the resources and asking them why they didn't want to go to school in the first place.
City employees need a yearly COLA. We've cut our garbage collection in half. Our city needs local tax base growth. We rely on federal tax money way too much.
We do not provide our city employees with a cost of living adjustment. So the city employees have to pay higher rents, have to pay higher insurance, have to pay higher life than all the rest of us. I mean, it costs more to eat, for God's sakes. So if we're not going to provide our city employees with a cost of living increase, we're doing them a very serious disservice.
And with the resources that we have and we're deploying, and we do it right, as we've been doing, I believe that we'll be better off. Give ourselves another year, give us to 24, give us through 25, and then at that point, go and revisit. But it is my goal, to get us through and to take the burden off of our people the best we can.
Ms. Mayor, I was in your office in March of 2018 with a group of other citizens, and you told me that we needed to get behind the bond funding initiative because otherwise we don't get money, because we don't get the FEMA money. And here I am, 4 years later, that road is still undone, and I'm not seeing major road work. The ball is becoming undrivable.
Your city is leading in the United States of America with the level of projects that we have in queue, because we've done the work and done the due diligence, but asking for the additional money that your city needs to fulfill all of these obligations in this city that have gone neglected for decades. As we inherited these gaps in our budget, in our finances, we saw that if we were prudent, if we were conservative in some ways, that we would need to manage ourselves.
I have property in 3 different districts. District B, I live in District B, District D, and also District E. And on the back of our property tax, we have a breakdown of the different areas that we pay millage. So my concern is I want to see the budget and know about the budget for on next year, 2024.
What we were able to do, we invested very heavily in Ozanam Inn so that they can move to a new location right there at Porter's Road, and also begin to service not just men, but women. We invested heavily in the women's and children's shelter as well. We invested very heavily in our own low barrier shelter. We increased it from 100 beds to 300 beds.
We have been out on the streets the entire heat wave. Today makes day 23 for myself, being out there checking on individuals who are in encampments, making sure that they are alive and well. Passed out a bunch of water. I think today's numbers were 1,226 since July 31. Yes, 1,226 bottles of water since July 31st. Starting every single day at 6:30 a.m.
Last year, code enforcement got $10 million to fight blight. We had $2 million to work on vacant lots and cut them, and we're going to use it all.
How do you rate our progress?
Given everything that we have been through, particularly over the past 5 years, and under my administration, more challenges as well as things that have come our way than any other mayor has faced quietly in our history, I would rate how we're doing, I would give us a 7.
My questions, I have more questions than I have answers leaving this meeting.